Sorry, man. Yeah, how you going?
Good. You called police up regarding something?
Yeah, I did, mate.
What's going on?
Well, there's kind of a lot going on. I was expecting the crime unit to come out, but
Crime unit?
or it's some policemen to come out and talk to me. I was hopefully going to talk. Pardon me.
What was it in regard to?
Well, last week I had people, a bloke outside my window threaten to kill me.
Yep.
I don't feel safe in my own house.
Yep.
Can I just grab your name?
Chris.
Chris who?
Benson. Benson.
Chris Benson. Okay. Well, I hope to have a cooperative conversation with you, Chris. I've just written some notes. Further suspicious activity. People have been yelling out stuff like "it's the cops" and all sorts of derogatory comments at me from around the neighbourhood.
Yep.
Now, well, this is the thing. I've been to the police station about 5 times in the last couple of months, begging for an end to this systemic oppression that really ended up with me being in a hospital in which I suffered a fatal injury.
Yep.
Now, I know you know about this and you've been worded up before you called me, but I mean...
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know anything. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah. Well, I made a complaint about a doctor, which was a real standoff, and I didn't know, but I was being set up the whole time to fail, and it was via this systemic oppression, and my former partner, who was an ASIC agent, left me homeless about 5 years ago, and we've never come to a conclusion about that. Now, there's a few different ways that I can be framed and maimed and victimised and prejudiced against easy. So, I mean, the basic gist is I have reported crimes to police and nothing's done about it.
Yeah, but what's the offence you're reporting tonight?
Well, the offence I'm reporting tonight is the further like persecution of you, people yelling out stuff, and I know that sounds paranoid.
Who are these people?
See, that's the thing I don't know, because I have tried to report crime to the police, and they keep walking me out, and I've gone to IBAC.
What needs to happen, so you need to look at it from our point of view, yeah? So if you don't know who the people are and they're not there at the moment, what action do you want me to take against that person? I don't know who they are. I can't put a personal safety notice on anyone because I don't know who they are. So they're not there, and you don't know who they are. I'm not sure what you want me to do about it at this stage.
Okay, can I just respond to that
Yeah.
and say, literally, someone was at my window not 3 meters away, calling me a schizo faggot dog, and I'm not a family man, and I've released a website about the injustices that landed me in hospital and the further cover up by all systemic and government agencies that have kicked... Wait. Can I just finish? That have kicked the can down the road to make life so hard for me, it aids and abets, my death. Now, what this conspiracy does is it's got the police involved, because I can't report crime to the police. So I did last week. I don't feel safe in my home. I've tried to go to IBAC. I've tried to be a whistleblower. I've tried to go to the Ombudsman and all the right things. Now I'm rendered a homeless, like I'm squatting, neutral vagrant, quite famous with a doctorate, and I have not the ability to report any crime to police, and I'm...
you can call. Why can't you just call like you have just now?
Alright, so I can report crime to you, can I, right now?
You can report crime, but what you're telling me is someone's knocking on your window, you don't know who it is, and they're not there now. Is that correct?
That was the initial reason that I called up, framed by this systemic conspiracy in which I have already died. It was a fatal injury to hospital, and it's been covered up by the police, and I've been threatened.
Sorry, because I'm just not quite following you now. So what's the conspiracy you're talking about?
I've tried to explain to you that I had a discrepancy with the doctor, and I was
Discrepancy with the doctor, yeah.
yep, and I was I wanted to protect the doctor, and I was framed. I found this after my suicide when I got out of hospital as
Were
a
you framed?
I was framed by his lawyer when I had none as as some kind of evil extortionist, like I was doing this for money, you know. Now, a lot of agencies have covered this up, including the doctors, APRA, NHP, OPC, the police, IBAC, the Victorian Inspectorate, the Commonwealth Ombudsman, and the whistleblower, IBAC, and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's evidence that I have, and this movement.
What evidence do you have?
It's
You're saying something about a conspiracy, but you're still not making any sense, mate, if I'm being honest. I don't know. We're saying something about a doctor, something covered something up, but you're not saying what it's about.
Okay. Well, if you I'm trying to make sense. I have actually suffered an injury in the hospital, which makes it hard for me to collect my thoughts. But if you bear with me, I will explain. I was feeling suicidal at the time because of a friend's death and the stresses of a PhD and vulnerabilities anyway. And it was a medical malpractice and professional negligence case. And I innocuously recorded the conversation, and I tried to protect the doctor from not handing that over because he'd been a lot of.
Protect the doctor from again? Sorry, I'm just trying to write this down.
I was trying to prevent the doctor from any harm. I saw an ethical dilemma because I had overdosed on medication he gave me in the same session.
Why were you trying to protect the doctor from harm?
Why?
Yes.
Because I'm a nice person.
That was wrong. What did the doctor do that was wrong?
Okay. Well, I was suicidal. I clearly stated I was suicidal. I clearly stated how I was going to do it. And then I begged for help. He said I was so clever I'll fall between the cracks. He knew I was in a toxic relationship. He knew I'd been sexually abused. He knew of my mental illness stuff. Should have been red flags going off everywhere. But not only did he refuse a psychologist or psychiatrist, he gave me the dose which then weeks later I overdosed on. So that was my ethical issue with that interaction.
Yeah,
and
so that right there, that's not criminal. If you want to go after that, that's civil. You can lawyer up, and then you can go after him that way.
Yep, if you just bear with me, I made the complaint to try and protect the doctor because I didn't want to get him into trouble, and this movement
Wait,
went.
you made a complaint to protect the doctor, is that what you said?
No, you're kind of mixing it up a bit. I wanted to make a complaint because it was an ethical issue, and I'm an ethical guy. I wanted an acknowledgement that it had happened, but the further I was gaslighted and pushed aside, the further I kind of got my back up, and the further I pushed the can down the road. Now, what was happening, unbeknownst to me, was that it was framed from the top for me to be set up to fail the whole way. That's the sin of this. That I was a vulnerable person, and I was being set up the whole way, and people knew I was becoming more and more distressed. And it was years later when I finally was in hospital, and they misdiagnosed me with delusions of persecution, which were actually factual, and I'd suicided. So I actually had a fatal injury in the hospital, and then they released me, and by that stage, other agencies like AFCA and the Health Complaints Commission, the Australian Human Rights Commissioner, they'd all worked against me to keep me broke. So I went bankrupt, and this is my former partner owed me $500,000 anyway. I shouldn't have been bankrupt, and I shouldn't have been distressed, So I ended up in hospital a dead man. I died in the hospital. It said the thread of information said it was a fatal injury, I've tried to tell this to police, and they've covered it up. I've
I'm
gone.
not trying to cover it up. It's still a civil matter. I can give you a website where you can make complaints through to there. We're still not at a criminal matter, mate. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're a criminal organisation, not a civil organisation. So all you've explained to me right now is a civil matter. All right?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Richard?
I'm not sure I do, because I don't understand the law. I just thought,
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if you don't understand the law, that's probably where it's coming from. All right? So you got civil matter and you got criminal matters, yeah? Criminal matters are your assaults, your thefts, and everything else in between, yes?
So can I just interject there for 1 second and say I was with my former partner for over 5 years. He was an ASIO agent, present at murders and all this kind of other stuff, and embezzled millions of dollars. And he still owes me $500,000. Now, I can't get a lawyer because the whole system's cooked from the top. And so he's literally robbed me of $500,000. So there you go. That's the crime. That's criminal. That's criminal.
Why can't you get a lawyer?
Because it's framed from the top. I've been in contact with Australian General Intelligence Agency, and they're the body that investigates ASIO, and they have pushed me aside as well. Now you said you said to me, if there's a criminal matter like theft, well, I've been robbed of $500,000, and I can't get a lawyer. I can't get one.
Is that from a divorce or a breakup or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, so again, that's a civil matter again.
But you're saying to me that that if I got robbed or something, like, you'd investigate, because that's theft, right?
It's a civil matter because it was agreement, because there was a breakup. If that was the case, everyone gets a divorce, we start calling police. We don't get that.
Did you know that victimisation is a criminal offence?
Yes, I understand that.
Did you know that conspiracy to pervert the course of justice is punishable by a 14-year jail sentence?
Mate, we're going in circles at the moment.
No, we're not. I'm holding you to account, and you're going to hang up in a minute. I just know it. Now, a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice and victimisation of a disabled person is abhorrent, don't you think?
I'm not going to sit here and go around in circles with you.
I'm not. I just asked you.
Alright, everything... You started off the phone call with someone banging on your window. He's not there, and you don't know who it is, so I can't do anything about that. The breakup with your partner, that's a civil matter, so you can go down that path, down the civil path. And with the hospital thing, that's a civil path as well. Why you didn't make a complaint, that's up to you. I can't change that. Alright? So you need to sort that out all civilly. We're a criminal organisation, and there's nothing I can do for you. I'm going to put it simple as that.
Can I just put it as simple as this? Victimisation is a crime. The inability to report theft to police, and I also wanted to report murder, conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, victimisation, theft of property.
How do we get to murder now?
My former partner admitted to me he was present at murders. I've got the information. Now, see, even if the suggestion of that, I've tried to tell police that many times, but they won't investigate it because he is a former employee of ASIO, and he embezzled $1.3 million in an overtour tax haven, and so my life systemically, and as a victim of systemic oppression that ended in my death, but I lived because they saved me, and then I couldn't report it. So you get what I mean? So now I'm sitting at home framed by someone has literally come to the window last week and framed by this very public story, and I'm a person of public presence. People have found out where I live and they're threatening to kill me. I don't feel safe in my own home. I've been robbed.
What do you want me to do about that? If you don't know who it is. If you knew who it is, I'd happily go out and arrest them. But you don't know who it is, so where do I start? Do I just keep plucking guys off the streets and going, hey, was that you? I can't do that. Have you got CCTV? Have you got an image of him? If you've got an image of him, you can send it to me, and then I can start to see if I can identify the bloke, but you haven't got that.
I called up because I felt threatened in my own home, framed by a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, which victimises me.
Alright, Richard, we're a criminal organisation. Who do you want me to arrest? Who do you want me to go out and arrest?
Well, I think it's unbecoming of you that I'm trying to report murder and stuff like that, but you're not interested in listening whatsoever. You're more interested in intelligently ostracising and gaslighting me to just push me off the leash.
I'm just telling you exactly how it is. I'm not trying to bullshit you or anything, mate. All right, and the murder thing, like this is the first I'm hearing about it. You've come midway through the conversation with that. If you've got information there, you can come in, you can show us what you got, and then we'll go from there.
Mate, I've tried to report this many times. What do you think of me going? Yeah, about 5 times. What do you think of me about going 5 times into the station, and literally saying I'm under victimisation here. There's been persecution on a systemic, local, state, and federal level, and I can't get any justice anywhere, anyhow, and I've been rendered a neutral, voiceless, fucking, nobody. I don't know why you don't think there's something wrong with that. It's a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and I can prove it.
Pardon?
It's a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and I can prove it.
All right. Well, you can come. What evidence have you got?
Well, I've got evidence of all of the agencies, one by one, getting knocked over and them not valuing my evidence. I've got...
What evidence have you got of this murder that you want to report?
You're getting confused with the first thing. So I was talking about the original doctor's issue, because the recording of what was done was silenced by all of the agencies until I published it publicly, and I didn't get in trouble because I've done nothing wrong. Why am I free? Why am I framed?
So let's just go back to the start again. So you've come up with banging on the window, don't feel safe in your own house, and then you've come up to the doctors not doing the right thing, then you've gone to murder. Which one do you want to start with first?
Let me get my thoughts together and record what's going on in the background.
You're going in circles, and I just don't know where the conversation's going at the moment.
Well, I can prove a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice.
Is that in terms of the doctor, the murder, or the... Which one?
How's the laughter in the background? It's just hilarious how your mates are laughing at this. So you got me on loudspeaker.
No, they're not laughing at all. There's a lot of things going on in this office, mate, if you understood that.
All right. Which office are you from, mate?
Pardon?
Which office are you from?
We call it Footscray Police Station, so that'd be Footscray.
Oh, right. I'm famous down there, you know.
Pardon?
I'm famous down there.
Well, this is the first time I've heard of you, mate.
Obviously. Look, I don't feel safe from my own home. I've asked for whistleblower protection and I haven't got it. What should I do?
Well, look, so are we talking about that now? All right. So what I suggested...
apologies if I'm jumping around. I have sustained a brain injury.
When the people bang on the window when they come next, call police then, and then we can come deal with it then, and we can make an arrest and everything now. And whether it's up to you whether have you got anywhere else you can stay?
I haven't got a cent, mate.
Pardon?
I haven't got a cent.
Yeah. Okay then. Well, do you want me to put referrals into you for homelessness?
I'd prefer to get some litigation so I can get some justice and money.
Pardon? So you can get what?
So I don't need welfare. I need a lawyer.
A lawyer?
I need some action by police to recover the $500,000 that's owed to me, to recover the conspiracy that silenced my evidence.
What you need to do is you bring... so you said you got proof of that, yes? You said that many times, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so bring that in and we can look at it.
But I've done that already about 5 times.
Well, I can't speak. I can only speak what I can do.
Well, all right. Well,
look, to me it sounds like a civil matter. To me it sounds like you need a lawyer, but you're saying you can't get a lawyer, but there's a lot of lawyers out there. Have you tried legal aid?
I'm banned from legal aid. I'm banned from Monash Law. I'm banned from Justice Connect.
Banned from legal aid.
Pardon?
So have you tried other organisations? Because there's hundreds and hundreds of organisations out there.
Yeah, but when you're framed as effectively as you have been, that I have been, as a victim and a person with a disability, and also of someone who has actually been killed, I say it's conspiracy to murder, in a hospital, and then you have tried to get at least an apology or mild conciliation from that hospital, but it's covered up by the Health Complaints Commissioner, the Mental Health Complaints Commissioner, the hospital, the Office of the Informational Commissioner, and further than that, you've probably got some real fucking memory issues, and you haven't seen a doctor in nearly a year, and you can't remember what you're doing from 1 minute to the next. They're absolutely taking advantage of me, and they are waiting for me to die. That's why I released a website, which you'll know about, which everyone will know about. It'll either fuck me or unfuck me. It's called killhim.info, and it's about how this movement, kind of like you're doing tonight, is to defer, deflect, push the can down the road until such time as I become so bereft of finance and rights and human company that I top myself. Now, I'm not going to top myself. You'll have to come and get me. Now, they're out there, and they are coming to get me, and they're yelling it out. They're saying, it's the cops, call the cops. And they actually yelled out to me tonight, call the cops. So now I'm calling the cops.
Why didn't you call police right then and there?
It was actually about 2 minutes afterwards, okay? So it was right then and there.
Why didn't you report that then and there?
I did, 2 minutes later.
I asked you if they were still there, and you said...
I didn't look out the window. Jesus, the guy threatened to kill me last week, mate. I'm not going to put my head out and go, oh, can you just stay for a minute? I'm going to get me mates from the Footscray cop shop to come down and check you out and arrest you for just yelling out, oh, it's the cops. Do you see the irony?
Well, they need to be there for us to attend.
Well, you know what? They don't need to be there for you to listen to my story and the criminal activity that's happened.
We're a criminal organisation. I've got five people on hold at the moment. I've been on the phone to 20 people, and to me it just sounds like a civil thing. You just need to get a lawyer, but you're saying you can't, so I'm not sure. You can definitely get a lawyer. There's heaps out there.
Well, I reckon I could definitely get a...
Can we do a referral for you to get a lawyer? I can do a referral for that.
You know what? If you give me a referral for a lawyer or a mental health worker or a homeless whatever or any other fucking thing or report any fucking thing any which way how to the police, I'll be very surprised, because every time I call up, that's the exiting factor. Though if they say they're going to help me, and then what that does is gives me a little bit of hope, but then it pushes the can down the road again, and I'm forced with this persecution, and I don't feel safe.
I'll do a referral right now for legal.
Okay, great.
Right now. What's your date of birth?
8th of 4th, 73?
8th of the...
4th.
4th, 73. Alright, I'll do that right now, and then you should be hearing from someone.
Okay. Well, I guess, thanks for that. Cunt.